Way to go, Tim Cook. You are doing the right thing. Apple gives back. Good morning, everyone. It's a big win for America. Apple, they get a tax break on the profits, a tax break on the money they keep overseas, and they're putting $350 billion to work in America in the next 5 years. We've said before that business got just about everything it wanted in the tax deal. Now they have to do the responsible thing and pass it along, and that is what they're doing. 170 companies and counting have given bonuses, better pensions, or higher wages, or all of the above because of the tax cuts. More than 2 million people have benefited directly. Here's the key point. There's more to come. $2.8 trillion parked overseas. A lot of it will come back here. Business is coming through. Today, the market opens well above the 26,000 level, flat to ever so slightly higher expected for the Dow, but no big sell-off, despite the explosive run-up this year. Investors apparently not worried about a possible government shutdown. My opinion, if the Democrats shut down the government to protect illegal immigrants, they're going to get the blame. Varney and Company is about to begin. President Trump tweeting about Apple's big move. Here it is. I promised that my policies would allow companies like Apple to bring massive amounts of money back to the United States. Great to see Apple follow through as a result of tax cuts. Huge win for American workers and the USA. Give me the details. What are they doing?
They're going to bring back $252 billion in cash. That's 94% of all the cash they have. They're going to bring it back, and they say they're going to invest $350 billion over the next 5 years. They're going to build a new domestic headquarters. They're going to create more than 20,000 jobs. They've also given their employees $2,500 bonus in restricted stock. And that's for almost all employees around the world, which counts about 120,000 employees. So all in all, not bad business for the U.S.
But they don't have to bring all of the $252 billion back. They can leave it overseas, but they're going to get taxed on it.
They are, but they're going to pay 15.5%. So before this went through, they're saving about $39 billion in taxes. So that's enabling them to bring it back because they're only paying a one-time fee of 15.5%.
Yeah, and that 15.5% is $38 billion that goes to the United States Treasury.
Correct.
On that. And they can also deduct the stock grants they're giving employees on their tax returns.
Yes, that's right.
So it helps their bottom line.
Everyone wins.
It's a big deal. Everybody wins.
I might bring back my £20 in a British bank account. That's how.
Now that's a win right there, if I've ever seen it.
Wait for a favourable exchange rate.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Okay.
This is the poster child for what American companies hope for from the tax bill.
Yes.
The repatriation of Apple's money is sort of setting the standard for what other companies are going to do in response to this bill. This is huge.
Now, wait a second. The other big tech companies, Microsoft in particular, they've got a ton of cash overseas.
They all do.
$143 billion over there.
They're going to bring it back. Well, they're certainly going to get taxed on it. Are they going to do the same thing?
I think they all will. And not, because, for one thing, they don't know if this is going to last forever. This is an opportunity to repatriate money. They have been borrowing. Apple has been borrowing against their overseas holdings to fund things like dividends and capital spending here. But I think, honestly, this bigger story that has not been addressed and I think has to become apparent over the next year or two is that American companies and international companies want to invest in the United States, and they have been prevented from doing so because of our dysfunctional tax system. You know, I mean, Democrats write off America as a manufacturing place, as a leader in production. We are not. We have so many advantages, and this has been the reason what hasn't happened up till now.
I think you should write an op-ed for the New York Times.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
Also with us in New York, to my immediate left, Scott Martin. Let's bring him in right now. Apple giving stock. It's a stock grant to employees. Not an option, a grant. You think that's better than a check?
Well, given how the performance of the stock has been, yeah. I mean, can you believe a better place to put your money in some of the tech stocks that we talk about every day? Store. You know what's funny? I think this is the New York Times here.
It is.
I'm guessing that they're saying today, Apple, to your point, brings back 94% of their cash.
Right.
I'm guessing the headline in the Times maybe is somewhere about Apple stiffing America on 6% of the cash, right? I mean, that's the thing that you're going to hear, Liz, right? That you talked about, which is the fact that somehow some of the mainstream media is still finding a way to make this bad news. I was reading about it last night online.
You're
I mean,
right.
it's incredible.
They make it sound like it's a slightly scam.
That's right.
It's a little bit of a scam, you know,
Right.
windfall and thing,
Well,
words
the
like
Times
that.
also pointed out that Apple was going to spend a ton of money anyway, so really they're only investing $38 billion over 5 years. You knew they'd find that.
Here's the New York Times. Front page, made the front page. Apple, after tax cut windfall, will bring billions back to the U.S. First sentence. Apple, which had long deferred paying taxes on its foreign earnings and had become synonymous with hoarding money overseas, unveiled plans on Wednesday that would bring back the vast majority of the $252 billion in cash.
Yeah, and 20,000 jobs is nothing to sneeze at.
No.
Remember, even President Obama admitted after his $800 billion stimulus plan that that did not create shovel-ready jobs immediately. So this is companies now stepping in, right?
Yeah, and there's more
We haven't
to
seen
come.
that in 8 years.
I'm convinced there's more to come.
Yeah.
Now, how we're going to open this market, 24 minutes away. We're going to be flat to slightly higher. I'm going to call